Welcome back to the InherAlchemist TV. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look into Martell Holt of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Before we get started, please like the video, make sure you are subscribed to the channel, and also that you have your notification bells on. Oh my god, there's still so much going on, but I do have me a little miniature lineup. So I'm starting with Martell because I've been meaning to do his. I'm also going to be doing Chris Fletcher. I'm going to be doing Trish and Ken. As far as breakup rumors, we saw in the reading that we did on them. I mean, it was in the reading. Are y'all paying attention, or are y'all studying me, or are y'all listening to the content of these readings, which is pretty much 100% accurate? Like, it's crazy. I'm just in awe of myself sometimes. Just kidding. And then we're also going to be looking into Lernell Fletcher and Lexi Fletcher. So yeah, but like I told you guys, I'm kind of tied up. I got a lot going on. I'm trying to do the best that I can, but these readings, they do take a lot of energy. So I wanted to take a look into Martell. He's been quiet. He appears to be out of Dodge. I don't believe it. I kind of want to see what his role is, or what is this energy surrounding this reunion talk that is still dominating these YouTube streets. I think it's been probably about a week, right? That happened last Saturday, or a few, and it's still just the topic of discussion. I've seen this grooming conversation reaching so many different sectors. So it's just interesting to watch this topic of discussion come up. In a technical sense, you could call grooming the word, but words are, they have such a wide range, right? I remember I put grooming on the community wall when I asked, I think I said, was Melody grooming Martell into the perfect husband? And then I also asked the question, was Martell grooming Melody into mothering him? You know, when guys like play that infant role and have you speaking for them, conducting their business, even though you're supposed to be their wife, they're kind of like grooming you, preparing you, ushering you into, nurturing you into a mother role by having you engaging in problem solving and so forth. So it be a proper word. It really do be a proper word. But when sex is involved, it takes on a whole nother dimension. You know what I mean? And shit, I mean, words are powerful. So yeah, that conversation is dominating these YouTube streets. Like I said, I've seen it in the manosphere. I've seen it in Black women empowerment. I'm seeing it everywhere. And I hate that. I really, really do. In any event, let's go ahead and look in these cards. Let's see what's going on with Martell. About Martell Holt. Right, we're coming in as a Temperance card, and that's an upright, and then that's being clarified by the Ten of Pentacles in the reverse. The Temperance card is about moderation, or it could be about modifying, maybe modifying your behavior. I don't want to say modifying your storyline, but I don't know. I feel like with the Temperance card, it almost comes across as a need to balance something extreme. And when it comes down to the Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles especially, usually that has to do with money. And the Ten of Pentacles has been known, at least as far as like cards and how I put my patterns together, as being like gambling problems or problems with paying the lottery. Now with the Temperance card here and the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, I can almost see that as you squandering or losing all your money or all your resources on gambling. Right? Maybe it's something that has to do with stress. There's a lot of stress in this spread. But then also a lot of energy of things being out of control. I have a lot of Swords energy. I got a 6, 7, 8, 10. A lot of Swords energy. Knight of Swords. You know, this is mental things. This is things that are on your mind. Like I said, a lot of stress. I feel like there's some financial losses. Like, I don't want to say the loss of a home, but sometimes the Temperance card, the Ten of Pentacles card can represent home and legacy. Or it could just be a loss of your life savings. Maybe there were some recent financial gains and he gambled them away. because I'm just seeing you losing everything through gambling, and this Temperance card saying that you needed to find moderation in that, but you just going balls to the walls and doing things at the extreme, right? And this has been going on with this 10 for quite some time. You know what I mean? The 10 also Pentacles, when it's in reverse, represents problems within an organization. I don't know if this organization could be a bank, a loan shark, the casinos or something like that, right? It could be a family, but I don't know. I feel like there's when it comes to families, this Temperance card in reverse represents divided loyalties, right? We know if Martell at any moment ever sided against Melody, you're a divided loyalty. And I'm not saying he owes her eternal loyalty. We know that the entire cast has suffered greatly at the hands of quote unquote Melody's fans. But loyalty requires you to show up in a certain way for your family, meaning your children. And again, I just deeply feel in my heart that to hurt her is to hurt his kids, and vice versa. But if he's not able to sustain, let's just use this as an example according to these cards, right? If he's not able to sustain himself because he has a gambling addiction or a gambling problem, the Devil card is not here, so I'm not going to call it an addiction. But this is also you still squandering all your resources, right, on gambling, whatever. And so you dealing with something, right? And then you have the mother of your child who is the quote unquote breadwinner. Maybe you can only provide the kids the basics, but this mother shows them a good life. Maybe she travels with them. Maybe she buys them nice things. Maybe she takes them shopping. Maybe she does things with their friends. Why would you constrict that person too? You know what I mean? So yeah, while you are dealing with whatever issue that you're having, where you're deprived in a way, when you stop her, you kind of being disloyal to your children. That's the way I look at it. You guys can tell me what you think about that in the comments. But in my mind, it just doesn't make sense that if you know that you're doing something that's wayward and somebody else has to hold it down, that you would do something to affect that person. That's stupid to me, right? Martell, I don't feel like there's a personal accountability here with the 10 of Pentacles in reverse and the Temperance, because this is like you feeling like God is playing some type of joke on you. You know what I mean? And maybe that joke on you could be you being up literally in one moment and then the next day being dead broke. You know, maybe you cash $100K check on Tuesday. By Thursday afternoon, you only got $5,000 and it all went to the casino. So I feel like whatever gains that you're having are just being squandered away. Yeah. And these losses are major. Like we talking losing your savings. We talking losing your home, right? We're not talking about something small. As a result of that, maybe there's some arguing in the house or even with his family. Could be with his mother. I feel like nobody's really feeling Martell in his personal family life. Again, I don't know what that consists of. If that consists of siblings, extended family, mother, grandmother, whoever. There's a lot of bickering, a lot of arguing with that 10 of Pentacles being in reverse. Now, in the below, I have the King of Pentacles in reverse again. That's another card signaling deep money problems. Seriously. But as a result of your own lust and gluttony and shit like that. You know what I mean? And then it's clarified by the 9 of Cups, which further lets me know that this has to do with gluttony. The 9 of Cups in general is about having your wish fulfilled. I call it fat and happy, high on the hog. And the 3 of Cups is the overall energy for the spread. So yeah, you are fat and happy. You might enjoy yourself drinking, fucking, having a good time. In any event, right? It's still overindulgence, especially with that King of Pentacles in reverse. This is overindulgence in, like earthly pleasures, like slovenly things or whatever. I feel like also that this King of Pentacles is going across to the Emperor, who is also in reverse, and for some reason, I got energy of a bribe. Now, I don't know if Martell is so hard up for cash that he's doing things in a fucked up way to get money, but I feel like with the King of Pentacles in reverse, this is saying like you're making hasty decisions, and you're not looking at, like, it's short-sighted. You're not looking at the long-term consequences of doing X, Y, and Z. You know what I mean? You're not acting rationally. You're just doing it because you have a need. And like I said, I feel like that need is to get money for gambling. The King of Pentacles is a person who wants money, who wants wealth, but they don't want to work for it. You know what I mean? I don't want to say this is a pillow princess, but I don't know. I've gotten a lot of pillow princess energy out of Martell. What's interesting about this spread, and listen, I'm not trying to go out of my way to, drag Marsau, quote unquote, into anything. But again, I just feel there's something about the interdynamics between these men, Marsau, Martell, Carlos, where there's a lot of sex play. You know what I mean? And sex play doesn't have to be physical. Sex is an energy. And I feel, because there's a sense of advice here, or somebody, like I said, being persuasive with Martell. And it's almost I'm looking right now at the strength card above, coupled with the Eight of Swords in reverse. So I was talking about the below energy with the King of Pentacles. Sorry, you guys, as I look at the spreads and then my mind starts going, I start bouncing around. I'm going to be showing y'all the cards soon after we finish this little remodel we got going on. That's why I told you guys I've been tied up. But anyways, case in point, I'm looking at the Strength card and this Eight of Swords in reverse. And then I'm looking at this King of Pentacles and this Nine of Cups. And it's giving me the vibe of somebody persuading Martell that you're not gonna win this thing with brute force. You need to go into hiding. You need to kind of fall back. You need to lay low on your personality, and you need to subdue this thing in a different strategical way. You know what I mean? So no more outbursts, no more yelling. You got to play the game right. Right? The Strength card is about using maybe more of a feminine grace or eloquence or suave, if you will, or a certain type of finesse as you subdue this lion. And I just feel like he was, like I said, coached or persuaded to take this new approach in order to dominate or get back on top in a situation. You know what I mean? And again, you have the King of Pentacles in reverse with the Emperor in reverse. To me, I feel like this is corruption. It's corruption as far as the organization, like I said, with that Ten of Pentacles in reverse. And this is saying that someone was put up to something or bribed into something, or maybe even offered us some type of bonus into doing something. But again, if you did get that money, you lost it already. You know what I mean? You lost it already due to gambling. So, but I feel like when the King of Pentacles in reverse, this is you would have never done something because actually it goes against your principles and what you stand for, really. But like I said, maybe you needed some money, because this is to me looking like you needed some money and you did something that goes outside of your principles in order to get it, and because of the way you got the money, you lost it right away. Like I said, gambling, not willing to work for what you want, trying to take shit the cheap way, if you will. I'm also seeing a dependency, like I said, with Carlos and his Ten of Pentacles and his Emperor in reverse and this King of Pentacles in reverse. I'm looking to me as somebody who's dependent on somebody financially. And like I said, I've seen in the past where Carlos was loaning Martell money. Or shit, I don't know. Like I said, I'm feeling Marsau energy because there's a lot of swords. And when I see swords, I think air, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And it just has given me his energy always. So there could be issues of him maybe borrowing money. Or like I said, being bribed into doing things for money and being desperate. You know what I mean? Being so broke and so desperate, being willing to do the unthinkable. And like I said, things that go against your own morals in order for you to get some money to support a gambling addiction. Yeah, that's just definitely the way that I see it. I also feel that there's some with the Emperor in reverse with this King of Pentacles. This is I don't want to, is it quid pro when your boss manipulates you with money, or I don't know, it's like your boss, it's like, to me, it's giving side missions between Martell and Carlos. Um, it's like a power thing. That's why I call it sex play, because this is all about power. I saw that a little bit later in the spread with Melanie and Martell, but that was him admiring and at the same time fearing her power as a woman. But this to me is it's a lot of male energy. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. A lot of male energy, and then the swords also have like a phallic representation. You know what I mean? So it's definitely a lot of sexual energy. But this is someone with Martell is maybe in a quid pro quo situation with Carlos. Could be something like that. Definitely. Martell is very insecure. When the King of Pentacles in reverse, this represents an insecurity that hides behind a superior attitude. And it could be that his attitude or his arrogance or how he comes across with women is to hide the deep insecurity. Because when you get in alignment with men or men who have more than you more so bow down, or you play it with a feminine grace. It's crazy, right? It's like in the presence of women, you're extra masculine and demanding and in control. But when you get in front of men, you almost regress into a little boy. I don't know. It makes you wonder how much of that has to do with daddy issues. I remember I was dating this guy, and he just had a lot of problem with men and authority. And I personally believe, obviously, that has to do with you and your dad. You know what I mean? So he found more comfort being amongst women, but he didn't like being around men. And for some reason, my instinct just was like, yeah, because you're not comfortable with masculine authority. You're comfortable when you can assert yourself over women, but you can't assert yourself over men. They dominate you too easily. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, King of Pentacles in reverse, Emperor in reverse, this is exploitation. And I don't want to make Martell into a victim, because you guys are so fucking simple-minded, right? Those of you who are, like I said, I'm making content for the real millimeters. You guys know who you are. You've been rocking with me for a while, and you pretty much understand how I do my readings by this point. But this is exploitation. And this is not to blame anybody for what Martell is doing, because Martell's a grown man, but it does not mean he's not capable of being groomed, right? Interesting word that Carlos chose. It doesn't mean that he's not capable of being manipulated or being had by the balls by his issues or his needs or his desires. But again, like I said, I feel that Martell is being exploited. And whether that exploitation is in going against your wife, putting up these stunts, whatever the situation is, there's women here. There's a woman here in the work environment. We're going to get to that. But again, like I said, with this being adjacent to the Emperor in reverse, King of Pentacles in reverse, Nine of Cups, to me, this is somebody who holds you by the balls according to your desires. They know what you need. They know what your habits are, and they exploit that. You know what I mean? To get what they need out of it. It's very sad. Yeah, definitely. So, like I said, funny money, funny money. Money slipping through your fingers with the King of Pentacles. But again, like I said, I think that you are squandering that shit on gambling, and maybe you gambling to cope with the stress. Like I said, all this swords energy in reverse, you stressed out over something. Maybe it's taxes. The Ten of Pentacles was up there, and the King of Pentacles, sometimes that represents maybe property taxes, or something where you're not taking care of your home. I don't know, it could be something like that. Yeah, maybe there's an issue. Yeah, it looks like some property taxes. Like maybe he needed some money for some property taxes. I don't know if somebody wanted something strange for some change. I'm not saying nothing crazy, but I don't know. That's just what I'm seeing. But let's move forward, because I talked about this above energy, and I talked about this Eight of Swords and the Strength card, which is also an 8. I got another 8 over there. That's the 8 of Pentacles. So 3 8s in the spread. The 8 of Swords is in reverse. I feel like this is like Martell maybe improvising. You know what I mean? Maybe improvising. Or, maybe he didn't know that he definitely was a catalyst in this whole situation, but maybe he didn't estimate the seriousness of it in a way. Because it seems like it grew legs or grows legs that he didn't anticipate. Like I said in the last reading, he thinks it's all funny and games, but he's not thinking of the damages. You know what I mean? I talked about that in the beginning when I talked about the disloyalty, right? The Eight of Swords in reverse can represent sabotage, right? Sabotage because, in a way, he doesn't want to maybe make it on his own. I don't know, with this strength card, I'm feeling you having to take control of your own environment. And like I said, by you being that proverbial fuck up, it keeps you codependent, right? Now, I always talk about codependency and Melody and Martell's relationship because the Devil card always comes up and it represents codependency. Not only that, when Melody was doing her interview with Dr. Heavenly, she talked about basically being there for Martell in his hard times and soothing him. Like he broke your heart, but he's dealing with the consequences and he's crying about it, and then you pick up the phone and listen to him and you wait for him to have to call you. But then when he stops calling you and stops relying on you for that, then there's another injury there, right? Because you're codependent on helping him too. You're codependent on rescuing him too, or needing to solve his problems, or hold his builder's license, or pick up his kids when he's and then he starts having to build his own manhood, and he needs you less, and then you are triggered by that, and so you start creating binds for him to be in to trigger his need for you. You know what I mean? Convoluted, but you just have to let it sink in, right? That's the core, the ties that bind them sometimes, right? It's also the thing that plays into, hey, I got in an argument with these people and this is what they did. And this is what they did, so even though I got myself in knee deep in shit, you need to read them. You need to have a conversation with them. You need to check them. Part of that same codependency, right? Because she didn't have anything to do with that. She wasn't there, but it was a problem that he panicked and reached out to her about, right? That's what I see happening in between them. But it's with Martell. When the Eight of Swords is in reverse, this is somebody who fears standing on their own 2 feet, even if it results in success. They want that tie that binds. And it makes me wonder if he self-sabotages even, or if he subconsciously fucks up so that he has a reason to engage her, or has like how you date a guy and you're like, okay, I don't want to see you anymore, I need a break, and then he calls you like, oh, I'm in a hospital, my mom died, something tragic that draws you right back in. I just felt like he's had that effect, right? Yeah, and maybe and you know what, honestly, with the strength card, maybe he does have the ability to handle his own shit, but maybe he hides it and instead again tries to make himself seem helpless when it comes to dealing with other people. Maybe that's a part of his finesse. You know what I mean? Like I said, whether it's Carlos, whether it's Melody, whether it's Marsau, he's comfortable to be led or persuaded, or I don't know. But I feel like with the Eight of Swords, maybe you didn't walk yourself right into some damn trouble. You know what I mean? But like I said, that strength card is there. Instantly, I got the vibe of you changing up your strategy. And I believe that was on advice. Good advice even, right? But it's almost like somebody having a pep talk with you and saying, these devils out here is trying to devour you. You know what I mean? And you're not going to get it by doing all that yelling and getting emotional and being openly hostile. You need to take this challenge mentally. You can't use force anymore. You just need to be gentle and just influence the situation. You know what I mean? And so I feel like if you look at Martell's behavior over this past season, we didn't see all that many blow-ups. We saw the one at the picnic with Destiny, but we also know that now there was a lot of deleted footage, right? First and foremost, the accusations of him being gay and having somebody in college. And secondly, the accusations of the limo, right? Which we know is true. Everybody confirmed it. There will be no lawsuit, no defamation, because too many people there witnessed it. But that's here nor there, right? It's inappropriate. We're moving on. However, all of that shit probably transpired to heighten his actions or his yelling or his hostility. Instead of it looking like, oh, Martell just went crazy. Like, no, it's hella shit that happened in the in time, in between time. But for the most part, this reading is showing him having tried to adopt a new strategy this season moving forward that had to do with more of a subtle influence, like I said, as opposed to you being constantly turned up. You know what I mean? Also feel like this situation with Melody, it liberated him in a way. You know what I mean? He's been feeling a lot of injustices and maybe feel like he's having no mercy. And maybe he feels like this is like some big gotcha moment in a way. You know what I mean? I have the Seven of Swords over there. That's where I was picking up this kind of energy from a little bit. I don't know. I feel like he feels that I don't want to say won, because like I said, can you really win? But I don't know. He feels like a weight is lifted, or I don't know. He feels like he got her in a way. You know what I mean? He feels like he threw it off, and that's what he wanted to do. I feel like with this Seven of Swords, this is him feeling like now I can do things my own way. You know what I mean? But again, he's impulsive and not really thinking things through. I feel like also, I don't know if he's spying or has been spying on her, but there's a Knight of Swords here. It's kind of making me feel like, did you stumble across some information? And because I feel like, I don't know, there's two knights here, and then there's the Seven of Swords here can represent spying. Two knights can represent conflict. And I'm wondering if he was spying or getting some intel, or I don't know, learning something about her or something, and this is his way of, like, I don't know, creating some type of conflict for her. But it's not about I'm sensing conflict. I feel like it's about him creating problems for her, but it's not necessarily about what she's taken from him or the bind that she's put him in. It's about him catching her in something, or finding out. Maybe somebody told, or it's something that he found out. There's a spy. I don't know. Or he's spying on her. But I'm getting a vibe where there's something that he found out. And this conflict or this situation that she's in, it wasn't as pure as the people involved may have thought it to be. It was more so about him trying to get her in some type of bind, or like I said, some type of fight or argument because of something he, I don't know, like was told, or I don't know, or like, I don't know. I feel like somebody betrayed her, but they told him something on her. And then the way he took it was like, I'm gonna make, I don't know, it's weird. I don't know, maybe it'll come to me as I go, because I don't know why I'm having a hard time articulating this concept, but it's almost like somebody was spying on somebody, stumbled across some information, got mad, and then wanted to arrange for that person to get into some type of fight or argument or conflict, but they couldn't be the one to do it. You know what I mean? So it's like they put other people up to it or something like that. But it's not about what it seems like it's about. It's about something else. You know what I mean? And it has to do with him not getting his way in something. Yeah, but you know what? I feel like with the Seven of Swords, and I saw this in the past though, I feel like it had to do with him being outcasted. Yeah, too. Yeah, I saw that recently, right? A lot of this is about Martell being kicked out of the circle of trust in his mind. You know what I mean? And again, coming back with a new strategy. And that new strategy being playing it cool, being more jovial. And there is some self-work here, don't get me wrong. There is some growth, you know what I mean? But, definitely. Yeah, but anyways, I feel like he wanted to improve his odds, you know what I mean? Or he wanted to try a different strategy. And it required for him to be slick. Yeah, this is slick. We got the Knight of Pentacles and the Knight of Swords here. This is slick. I feel like this is a warpath too. But you know what? I feel like him and Carlos also got into it. I don't know. Maybe he didn't get as much as he thought he would get out of it. There's also energy of like somebody conning. He's about to come out with something too. The Four of Cups is here in reverse, clarifying this Seven of Swords. This is giving me the vibe of him coming out. Maybe he was like in hiding. And when the Four of Cups goes in reverse, that person kind of comes out of hiding. You know what I mean? And it almost feels like they have a new start, like a new chance to build new relationships and have new people come in, new storylines, like new everything. There's a secret relationship that he's working on, or he has a secret crush, or there's a secret going on with him and somebody in one of the cast members of that show that he worked with. I have the High Priestess and the Eight of Pentacles. He's sleeping with somebody on that cast. Yeah, that's in the external environment, or they could be working on a relationship, or I don't know, but I feel like they're working to hide something really well with that High Priestess and that Eight of Pentacles. Then I know people have talked about Ariane being on the show. I have the Knight of Pentacles there, which is a Virgo card, and I know she's a Virgo, and I have that with the Star card in reverse. To me, that combination says she's not. I don't see her going to be on the show. I'm going to be reading Wanda. I forgot to add Wanda to that list. Let me write it down. I'm going to read Wanda. I seen she was over there acting a fool. And she was saying, fuck everybody that don't like my daughter and da-da-da. And I was thinking in my head like, well, your daughter needs to give people something they can feel. Okay? We don't know your daughter. Now, me, I'm not a Tisha fan. I think she's beautiful. I think Wanda's beautiful. I think there's some gorgeous, gorgeous women. But Tisha don't give me nothing I can feel. She's not memorable. I don't walk away. You know, even if people feel bad, they still want to feel. You know what I mean? And I'm like, and Wanda knows that. That's why she's trying to jump in and do it and carry it. But at the same time, you might be overshadowing your daughter a little bit. You know what I mean? With your animation and your extraness and your flair and your drama. It might be cool, but maybe you're kind of suppressing her ability to shine. And I don't know. I feel like Wanda needs to ask herself a question. Is she the one stopping Tisha from shining? You could move all them ladies out the way. Maybe you are the issue. You know what I mean? Maybe she's competing with your arrested development or your childishness or your inability to gracefully surrender the things of youth, right? Definitely. But anyways, Four of Cups in reverse represents somebody, like I said, coming out of the closet, ready to show their face again after being in hiding. But with that Seven of Swords, I see that you was hiding, playing shit in the background, like I said, subtly influencing people, manipulating people, trying to lay low so that nobody would know what you was doing. And then now that it's done, here you come. You know what I mean? This is treachery, though, with this Seven of Swords. A fact. It is. It's a con man. You know what I mean? Yeah, this a lot of tens. I got 3 tens in this spread. I feel like this stuff has been a long time in the making. A long time in the making. Maybe it'll come out soon. Now, like I said, I got that Emperor in reverse. That's clarified by the Knight of Swords. And for me, I just felt like that was an argument with Carlos. Now, again, Emperor in reverse, we're talking about toxic leadership, quote unquote, right? Or just a weak lily spine leader, if that. But again, a lot of sexual interplay, a lot of quid pro quo. You know what I mean? And it has to do with somebody that can wield authority, and you going head to head with that person over something. You know what I mean? Maybe Carlos issued some type of, I don't know, there's something harsh here or something severe that's happening. Again, but with that Knight of Swords storming in here towards this Emperor, I don't know. This is a confrontation. And again, I don't know if Martell is just arguing or trying to argue because, you know, he needs some money. And that's how he comes. Maybe that's the easiest way to get Carlos to yield. Maybe he's attracted to something like that. You know what I mean? Yeah, but I feel like this is some aggressive energy. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I'm looking at him and I can't really see it any other way. I just feel like he's charging at Carlos with some aggressive energy, but I also feel like it has to do with money. You know what I mean? Or like I said, he has a hissy fit when he needs money, and a lot of his actions being kind of like influenced by this gambling addiction in a way. You know what I mean? Sometimes a Knight of Swords can be kind of like a know-it-all, or somebody who feels like they're right, or they want to like push something just to make a point. When I look at this situation with this reunion or melody or something like that, or just like cast reaction wise, I could also see him wanting to make a point. You know what I mean? And that point showing other person's weaknesses, because the Emperor in reverse can represent, just at a general level, a weakness in another person. You know what I mean? Or faults in another person. And I feel like that warpath has to do with maybe like bringing that out or showing it out to people. You know what I mean? But there's also, with that Knight of Swords there's a sense of self-righteousness that Martell has. You know, maybe since he's been quiet or laying low, you know, maybe he thinks that he's doing something right. And so now he can point out other people's wrong from a state of like, quote unquote, superiority. But it's more like self-righteousness. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I'm getting like a coward energy. And like I said, you may be self-righteous in one context when it comes to dealing with women, but with men, bosses, leadership, you're a coward. You're not standing up to, you don't know how to stand up to men. Or you don't know how to stand up for your principles, or you don't know how to protect. I also feel like the Emperor in reverse is like Carlos betrayed Martell. And maybe I don't know, like Martell he coming in with this knight energy. He's just an underdeveloped person mentally. And then he's just easily influenced and persuaded by different characters or different various men around him. You know what I mean? Yeah, definitely. But I feel like in a way the manipulation has to do with them saying, don't get turned up, don't use brute force, you gotta play this calm. But as people like steadily like betray him and run over him, they have him thinking that he needs to like abandon his masculine responses or anger and like play it cool, laugh it off, play the junior role. And he does it, but it's almost like he does it because he's relying on them for money or financial support. You know what I mean? So it's like you're not standing up for your principles, you're not standing up for your morals, you're not protecting your family, because they've tricked you into like dulling your defenses or your senses in a way. You know what I mean? Does that make any sense? It has to. It has to, definitely, because the Emperor in reverse, this is like, to me, a relinquishment of your masculinity. Yeah, exactly. It's what I just said it was. Whew, man, this Hollywood shit is too much. It's too much. The High Priestess and the Eight of Pentacles here. There's a secret between him and another woman on that cast. Whether that secret has to do with a love relationship or, like I said, an alliance who he's working with, working for. I think it's a woman that he's secretly working with. Yeah. That's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling this High Priestess is a woman. Let me see if I can clarify it. Oh, where's my deck? Hold on. Let me see. Oh, here we go. Okay. So overall energy was the Three of Cups. So that definitely can represent female friendship or female friends and things like that. Let me see if I can get what? This could be Arion. See, I don't know. It could be Arion or it could be a light-skinned woman, or it could be both. The High Priestess represents a light-skinned woman. And the Page of Swords came out, and it represents a dark-skinned woman, maybe with short hair or a ponytail, but it also represents a blogger. I'm wondering if this is Tasha K. Because, you know what? With the Page of Swords and the Eight of Pentacles and the High Priestess, just like straight riddle time, I could see secretly working with a blog or a gossiper or something like that. Yeah, I think this is Tasha K, you guys. I think they're secretly working together. But anyways, listen, that's what I got. You guys let me know what you think of this reading down in the comments. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of the reading. Don't forget to like this video. Make sure you're subscribed and turn your notification bells on so that you know when I post. And I will see you guys on the next one.